Hello, Georgia Democrats. My name is Michelle Sanchez. I'm the former Executive Vice President of the Young Democrats of Georgia and a current member of the Hall County Board of Elections. And I believe in access to the ballot. So I've been fighting hard for Hall County, with a county with an almost 30% Latinx population, to provide Spanish language ballot access to voters. The previous Board of Elections in Hall County voted to provide that access, only to have the new board shamefully rescind bilingual ballot access on a 3-2 party line vote. Yes, boo. Sadly, Hall County is not unique, though. We see Board of Elections across the state working hard on behalf of the status quo and voter suppression. So we need a Secretary of State to oversee our electoral process who truly believes in expanding access to the ballot. We need a Secretary of State who doesn't allow voter files of over 6 million Georgians to leak, and one who won't completely mismanage the finances of the office. The person for the job is our next speaker, John Barrow. John served us in Congress for many years, staying as long as he could through targeted efforts by the GOP to gerrymander his district. He understands electoral policy on the federal, state, and local levels, and he will be a leader who fights for the electoral reforms we need in Georgia. So please join me in welcoming the next Secretary of State, John Barrow.
Thank you, Michelle. Good afternoon, Georgia Democrats. My name is John Barrow, and I am proud to accept our party's nomination for the office of Georgia's Secretary of State. Now, I want y'all to think for just a minute about what I'm fixing to get into, considering how this particular office has been run for the last 12 years. I'm reminded of the story of the rookie center fielder playing his first Major League Baseball game. He's out there and he commits 3 errors in a row. Fly ball comes right to him, he drops it. Ground ball comes right to him, goes right between his legs. Finally fields the ground ball and throws it to the wrong base. So finally the manager yanks him and sends in the veteran starter, and then he commits an error on the very next play. Finally the inning comes to an end and old Reliable's coming in to the dugout, and the manager says, "What in the world happened to you?" He said, "Well, Coach, it's all the fault of that kid that was in there ahead of me. He's got center field so screwed up, nobody can play it." Well, I'm here to tell you that no institution of state government, not even the Secretary of State's office, is so screwed up that it can't be fixed with new management. I'm running for Secretary of State for a lot of reasons. I can think of 700,000 right off. That's how many registered professionals depend on that office every day for the license they have to have in order to practice their profession. And when the professional community in Georgia thrives, Georgia thrives. The business community depends on the office of Secretary of State, especially the small business community. Small businesses in Georgia are the real job creators. And when the small business community in Georgia thrives, then Georgia thrives. The Secretary of State is also the person that we hire in order to make sure that our elections are fair. And I don't think that you can say that our elections are fair if it's a whole lot harder for some folks just to register to vote than it is for others, when it's a whole lot harder for some folks just to stay registered than it is for others, and when it's a whole lot harder for other voters still just to vote on Election Day than it is for others. When I'm Secretary of State, it's going to be my policy to make sure that it is as easy for every citizen to vote as it is for any citizen to vote. when our elections are open to all who are eligible to participate, then our democracy thrives. And when our democracy thrives, Georgia thrives. If you want a Secretary of State who's going to do the job the way it ought to be done, then I ask all Georgians to join us. Give me your vote for Secretary of State, and let's make Georgia thrive together. Thank you.